Right, so it's bedtime story with Kaley.
Mr.
What we have show the viewers what we watch. Mr. Tickle.
Yes, Mr. Tickle
Right.
from Mr. Man. It was a warm sunny morning in his small house at the other side of the wood. Mr. Tickle was asleep. You didn't know that there was such a thing as a tickle, did you? Well, there is. Tickles are
Tickles.
yeah, tickles.
No, tickles.
Tickles are small and round, and they have arms that stretch and stretch and stretch. Extraordinarily long arms.
Brilliant. Extraordinarily long arms. Cool.
Mr. Tickle was fast asleep. He was having a dream. It must have been a very funny dream because it made him laugh loud, and that woke him up. He sat up his bed, stretched his extraordinarily long arms, and yawned.
Yawned.
An enormous yawn. Mr. Tickle felt hungry, so do you know what he did?
No, what did he do?
You see, he reached out one of his extraordinarily long arms, opened the bedroom door, reached down the stairs, opened the kitchen door, reached into the kitchen cupboard, opened the biscuit tin, took out a biscuit, brought it back upstairs, in through the bedroom door, and back to Mr. Tickle in bed.
Wow! All with his long arm.
Yes, absolutely yes. As you can see, it's very useful indeed, having arms as long as Mr. Tickle's. Mr. Tickle munched his biscuits. He looked out of the window. Today's looked very much like a tickling day. He talked to himself. So, later that morning, after Mr. Tickle had made his bed and cooked his breakfast, he set off through the wood. As he walked along, he kept his eyes very wide open, looking for someone to tickle. You ready? Looking for anybody to tickle. Eventually, Mr. Tickle came to a school.
Oh dear.
There was nobody about. Lucky that. So, reaching up his extraordinarily long arms to high window ledge, Mr. Tickle pulled himself up and peeped in through the open window. Inside, he could see a classroom. There were children sitting at their desks and a teacher writing on the blackboard. The teacher, his arm here. Oh my God! Mr. Tickle waited a minute and then reached in through the window. Mr. Tickle's extraordinarily long arm went right up to the teacher, paused, and then tickled.
Not paused.
Paused.
You said pause this time. You always said pause.
The teacher jumped in the air and turned around very quickly to see who was there, but there was nobody there. Oh my God. Mr. Tickle did a mischievous grin. He waited another minute and then tickled the teacher again. This time he kept on tickling until soon the teacher was laughing out loud and saying, "Stop it, stop it," over and over again. all children were laughing too at such a funny sight. There was terrible pandemonium.
Yeah, pandemonium. Can't say grape, but you get pandemonium straight off.
So eventually, Mr. Tickle thought that he had had enough fun, so he gave the teacher one more tickle for luck, and then very quietly brought his arm back through the open window. Chuckling to himself, he jumped down from the window, leaving the poor teacher to explain what it was all about. Which of course he couldn't. Then Mr. Tickle went to town. He's really excited now. And what a day Mr. Tickle had! He tickled the policeman on traffic duty at the crossroads in the middle of town. It caused an enormous traffic jam. He tickled the greengrocers just as he was
Piling.
piling apples neatly in his shop window. The greengrocers fell over backwards, and the apples rolled all over the shop. Oh dear.
He's bad boy, isn't he, Mr.
Tickle? At the railway station, the guard was about to wave his flag to the train to leave. As he lifted his arm in the air, Mr. Tickle tickled him. And every time he tried to wave his flag, Mr. Tickle tickled him until the train was 10 minutes late, leaving the station, and all the passengers were furious. Not good. That day, Mr. Tickle tickled everybody. He tickled the doctor. He tickled the butcher. He even tickled old Mr. Stormy the postman, who dropped all his letter into the puddle. Oh my God. Good, bad. Then Mr. Tickle went home, sitting in his armchair in his small house at the other side of the wood. He laughed and laughed every time he thought about all the people he had tickled.
Mischievous little Mr. Tickle.
Yeah. So, if you are in any way ticklish, beware of Mr. Tickle and those extraordinarily long arms of his. Just think, perhaps he's somewhere about at this very moment while you're reading this book. Oh my God, really? Perhaps. No. That's not Mr. Tickle. Perhaps that extraordinarily long arm of his is already creeping up to the door of this room. Perhaps it's opening the door now and coming into the room. Perhaps before you know what is happening, you will be well and truly tickled.
This is like a scary book at the end, huh?
It is.
I'd be terrified if I was a little kid about to go to sleep going, oh no, what's going in my room?
Yeah, his arm is coming through. Oh my God, I don't like it. He's not really good. He's really naughty boy.
So that's the first book?
Yeah, Mr. Tickle.
Okay. Don't have nightmares. Do sleep well. Good night.
Good night.
Tickle, 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 tickle.
Stop it.